Hi everyone, thank you for listening to our Blue Zones introduction video today. My name is Elise Garrick and I'm the Health and Wellness Coordinator at GBS. This topic is really fun and I'm excited to introduce it to you, so let's get started. Here is our agenda for the day. First, we're going to talk about what is a Blue Zone. Then we'll talk about something called the Power 9, and that's what qualifies a Blue Zone to be a Blue Zone. And then we'll talk about why we've chosen this topic for the year, the Wellness Around the World topic, and how we're going to focus on it each month. Let's start with what is a Blue Zone. Blue zones are regions of the world with significant percentages of the population that are centenarians or live to be 100 years or older. And this is pretty significant because the life expectancy of the average American is about 78 years old. And there are only 5 areas of the world that have been designated as blue zones. Those areas are Barbagia region of Sardinia, Icaria, Greece, Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, Loma Linda, California, and Okinawa, Japan. Even though these blue zones are in very different parts of the world, they have found 9 things in particular that they have in common that are believed to lead to longer and healthier lives, and that's called the Power 9. So the Power 9 is divided into 4 categories. As you can see in this picture, they're divided by color. So you have Move, Right Outlook, Eat Wisely, and Connect. And now we're going to run through each of these categories and talk about the specific points in each one. The first category we'll talk about is Connect, which is broken down into 3 points: loved ones first, finding the right tribe, and having a sense of belonging. So loved ones first. A large percentage of the people in blue zones were found to keep their aging parents and grandparents nearby, or sometimes even in the same home. They committed to a life partner and they invested time and love into their children. And they really just put their family and friends first and spent time with those that mattered. Right tribe, that's along the same lines. People chose social circles that supported healthy behaviors. Research shows that smoking, obesity, happiness, and sometimes even loneliness can be contagious. And so these social networks of people, they supported healthy choices, they pushed people to progress, and they were found to be very supportive. And the last point is finding a sense of belonging. So many of the centenarians that were interviewed when they were developing this concept of blue zones belonged to some faith-based community. They found that denomination didn't seem to matter, but it did help them find a sense of belonging, and along the same lines of finding the right tribe and putting your loved ones first and your family first, just being surrounded by people that were supportive and helpful and happy. The next category is Move and Move Naturally. They found that people in these regions didn't necessarily have a specific workout regimen or spend a lot of time in the gym, but they did live in environments that constantly nudged them to move forward without even thinking about it. So they grew gardens, they didn't have a lot of mechanical conveniences for house and yard work, and they didn't live very close to friends or neighbors, and so they had to walk if they wanted to socialize or visit a farmer's market or go to the store, and it just became part of their everyday lifestyle. Next category is called Right Outlook, which is more focused on mental health, and it's divided into 2 points: having a purpose and downshifting, which is being able to reduce stress levels. So having your purpose, these people, they knew why they were waking up in the morning, which is fairly significant because they believe that knowing your sense of purpose is worth up to a few years of extra life expectancy. They had long-term goals that they were trying to reach, and they knew what they were going to do each day to try and reach them. And downshifting, being able to reduce stress. Stress can lead to chronic inflammation, it can lead to diseases, it can really take a toll on your mental health. And some of these people that live in blue zones, they were able to develop routines that help them get rid of that stress on the daily. For example, Okinawans take a few moments each day to remember their ancestors. Icarians take a nap each day, and Sardinians do something called a happy hour. The last category is Eat Wisely, and that's broken up into 3 points: the plant slant, the 80% rule, and wine at 5. The plant slant refers to having a largely plant-based diet. People eat a lot of beans and lentils as well as fruit and vegetables. And if they do eat meat, they do so more moderately with smaller portion sizes. The 80% rule is recognizing hunger and fullness cues. So people aim to have a 20% gap between not being hungry but also not feeling full. And wine at 5 refers to people in blue zones drinking alcohol moderately and regularly. It's done so more as in a social setting so people can build their relationships and be with friends. And again, it's done moderately and regularly. It may seem a little overwhelming going over all of these different points and trying to figure out how you're going to incorporate each piece of these principles into your lifestyle. And some of them may not even fit into your lifestyle at this point, and that's okay. This quote by Dan Buettner, who is the founder and the person who discovered Blue Zones, he said, "Eat your vegetables, have a positive outlook, be kind to people, and smile." And I think that that's a great place to start. Focus on a few things and move forward and just trying to be positive. The next thing we're going to talk about is why we chose this topic about wellness around the world and how we're going to divide that up and talk about different things each month to hopefully make it a little bit easier and more manageable. Let's talk about the theme Wellness Around the World and why we chose it. Blue Zones were our inspiration for the Wellness Around the World theme, and each month we'll be touching on a different country and focusing on a tradition or habit that they're currently using that we can try to incorporate into our lives to work towards a happier and healthier version of ourselves. Because there are so many different things we can learn from countries and cultures around the world, and although genetics greatly impact our ability to live a long life, our environment and our lifestyle play a huge role in that and make a significant impact. So we hope that as we learn about these different traditions and habits that we can build appreciation and understanding for these cultures and societies. And we also hope that it will be a fun way to learn about health and wellness and that you enjoy learning about all of these countries as much as we do.